Okay, so I am getting started on doing a new video series. There's a lot of topics I want to cover. There's a lot going on, and I don't know. I just thought I needed to join the conversation. I the situation in the United States is I don't want to use the word frightening. It's not frightening, but it's certainly chaos. Not entirely to be unexpected. Um, I think, yeah, we've had an interesting ride the last. I don't know. I mean, it seems like decades. Actually, I remember when we were all protesting against the Iraq War under George Bush. Seems like the drama and the government's unlawful acts haven't stopped since then. And so right now what we have going on is, well, we've got the Ukraine war, which theoretically the United States isn't involved. Obviously, we're funding them, and we're using Ukraine as our proxy state to wage a war against Russia. So it really is our war, but the United States doesn't declare that they're actually in war. So, I mean, or at war with Russia. Um, the situation with Israel and the Palestinians is actually a lot more troubling. When you have, I don't know what the latest number is, 34,000 Palestinians in Gaza having been killed, a large majority of that being women and children. uh, we definitely, we definitely have a problem. Um, it's it's shocking that no one's actually intervened to make it stop. And I think what's equally as shocking and troubling is the people who actually justify it. Genocide for me is my red line. I don't, you know, I don't, I don't care what other policies you might have that I think are attractive, but if you support killing of women and children, in really such a horrific way as is happening in Gaza, there's just I don't well, I just wonder what makes somebody be willing to support that and to so easily dehumanize people, children. I mean, they're like, oh, they're I don't know what animals or whatever they say. Oh, they're just going to grow up to be terrorists, or they're propagandized. Yeah, infants propagandized. I mean, the whole thing. It's really it's sad. It breaks my heart, and I pray for them uh, every day. And when you see our governments, federal and state politicians supporting this, I just think, I don't know. I think my conclusion is these people are just evil. I really don't know. I really don't know what else to say about it. I think they just don't care about human life. And what makes me really sad is there are people that over the last, I don't know, 4 years or so, I really thought they were decent people, cared about children and cared about freedom and the Constitution, First Amendment, right to assemble, all that kind of stuff. And turns out they don't. I guess they just do when the topic something that they support. The same people that were going after the protesters, or that were supporting the protesters for January 6th. claiming, oh, it was our peaceful protest, which I believe it was actually. From what I could see, I mean, I'm sure there were some people that were bad actors, but overall, and we do have a right to peacefully protest, and particularly political speech in this country, in the United States, or one of the, I think, the only country that has that. And they were chanting, we have that right to free speech, and all that, and all we were doing is peacefully protesting, and they came down hard on us, and I was sympathetic, and I am sympathetic. I still am sympathetic. But these same people now are, telling them they should lock up these protesters that are protesting the genocide in Palestine, and they're terrorists, and oh, domestic terrorists, which is what the FBI under Biden was calling them. And it's yeah, so disappointing. Because I think it's important to be principled, if you really support something, which I thought they did. I mean, I really did, and you know, even Greg Abbott. I don't know how long ago it was, passed a law in Texas, or signed the bill that there was to be free speech or on college campuses, and yet he was the one sent in like way disproportionate amount of police to the University of Texas in Austin to shut down the peaceful protest. From what I could see, just people standing around. I mean, it's happened all over the country, and yeah, and people are. The thing is about the one thing I'll say about these Palestine Palestine or pro-Palestine anti-genocide protesters is everybody's coming down on them. The right, the left, it doesn't matter, the establishment, and so they're legit. I don't think they're being funded by anybody. At least not maybe the people that were behind the George Floyd protests. Definitely not. Because the whole establishment is coming down hard on them. And, in my view, they're doing the right thing. I mean, this is a just cause. If you can't fight against genocide, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think, like I said, or may have, I don't know if I said it, but, genocide is my red line. I mean, that's it. You kill women and children, there's no excuse. You don't have any excuse. Zero. I don't care that Hamas attacked Israel, I mean, I don't support that, but you know what? There's no excuse for this. There's no justification, and I think we just all have to stand up and call out the government, our government, for funding this. The fact that they actually sent whatever 19 billion last week, both parties, you know, I'm sure they made a deal. Democrats, you give us money for Ukraine, you know, and we'll give you, the Republicans, the money for Israel. How it always works, because they're really all on the same side. There's no, any difference between them on significant matters. You know, is a delusion. I mean, it's. When it comes down to giving anything to the people, well, they can't agree. But when it comes to wars and bailing out banks and big corporations, they certainly just remarkably happen to agree. So anyway, that's kind of my initial thinking, and I'm gonna end here.